We left the moon of dead end with empty pockets. We needed a win. That's when we got a call from Hope's Landing. The governor there, a man named Vane, said he wanted the best light response team in the inner sphere to help maintain order and prosperity during a transition period. He sent a shuttle to bring me to the palace for state dinner. I walked into that hall and felt like I was in a dream. Crystal chandeliers, real silk on the walls, and food that didn't come out of a dehydrated pouch. I was naive, I thought maybe, just maybe, I'd finally found a place where the logic didn't have to be cold. I thought I was a hero, I didn't realize I was just a new coat of paint for an old executioner. Whoa! An old executioner! A marble and light, a jewel in the center of a planetary night. Governor Vane had a smile like a king, promising peace and the songs we would sing. I sat at his table, I drank of his wine, thinking the Warren's ransom was doing just fine. He had a daughter with eyes like the sea, who sat at the table and smiled right at me. He called me a hero, a man of the age, and brought out a gift for the center of the stage, a captain's cape, all crimson and gold to show the whole planet I was brave and was bold. The cameras were rolling, the feed was on live. I stood up to thank him, ready to thrive, but I tripped on the hem. I stumbled and fell, and the hero's welcome turned into a hell. The clasp was a heavy Starner gold weight. It caught on my collar and sealed up my fate. As I went down, the fabric gave away, tearing my shirt in a public display. I stood there shirtless, red-faced and bare, while the governor's daughter could only just stare. The whole planet saw the captain's skin before the real tragedy started to begin. No, it's the Tyrant's table, a banquet of bone, designed by a monster on a planetary throne, where the bolt and the hammer, where the grit and the rust, betting our lives on a governor's trust. Governor's trust. Oh, the dinner was over, the contract was signed, and the order he wanted was a different kind. He deployed us to the riot district gate to deal with the rebels and settle the state. I looked at the monitors, I looked at the crowd, and the logic in my head started shouting real loud. They weren't insurgents with rifles and hate, they were miners standing at the gate. They were starving and hollow, they were covered in dust, demanding a life and a moment of trust. Vane came on the comms, his voice like a blade: exterminate the rats, that's why you've been paid. I looked at my hand on the trigger control and felt the Warrens deep in my soul. The hero was gone, the mask had been stripped, while the logic of the machine started to get gripped. I sat there in the cockpit of my Locust, staring at a mother holding a child who looked exactly like my sister did 20 years ago. Vane was screaming in my ear about collateral damage and efficiency. He told me to fire. He said if I didn't, his automated palace turrets would take out the crowd and my company. I looked at Elena, I looked at Bedrock. I saw the same fire in their eyes that burned the day the dragons came to our home. I didn't turn my guns on the people, I turned my sensors to the palace roof, looking for the relay that fed the governor's automated courage. I told Vane to go to hell. I told him the Warren's ransom doesn't murder for sport. Then the palace turrets turned green, targeting us. He thought he could break us because we were small. He thought he could use us because we were poor. He forgot that a man with nothing to lose is the most dangerous machine in the world.